I remember Roy, a dedicated operative running covert operations in southern Laos. His mission? Keeping 2 voluntary battalions supplied and functional, even though the Geneva Agreement said they should have been disbanded. But here's the thing. There was a real fear that if these soldiers returned to their villages, we'd lose them forever. Either they'd be impossible to recruit again, or worse, fall under the influence of the communist Pathet Lao through intimidation. I knew Roy from my days working at the liaison and interpreter branch, right next to his PEO signal office. One day I had to have a serious conversation with him. If the Pathet Lao decided to launch an attack, we'd be sitting ducks and the blame would fall squarely on our shoulders. But that wasn't even the worst part. We were marked men. The communists had us in their crosshairs. The tension was thick enough to cut with a knife. In response to these threats, the commando company was formed. You'd hear them every morning, their boots pounding the pavement of Town Street, shouting their battle cry, "No fear, commando, no fear." It was meant to boost morale. During my time with the Lao troops, I noticed a concerning trend. The soldiers were using their M1 ammunition for hunting game to supplement their limited food supply. With only half their basic ammo load remaining after a year without U.S. support, they were dangerously unprepared for potential conflict. Worried about the vulnerability to Pathet Lao communist attacks, I flew to Vientiane to meet with USAID. When I voiced my concerns to Major Wine, his response was surprisingly casual. "Just radio me that you need vegetable," he said, and ammunition would be airlifted from Udorn pepper grinder. But the situation was more complex. Meeting with Brigadier General Morgan, I reported how communist forces were waging an aggressive propaganda campaign throughout the 4th Military Region. They weren't just distributing leaflets. Their cadets were moving village to village, even carving political messages into tree bark along the trails. The psychological warfare was as real as the ammunition shortage. Just after returning to Paxi, I found myself thrust into an intense situation. The Pier Fay military outpost, about 30 miles south along Highway 13, was under siege by Pathet Lao forces. Their timing was calculated. They struck right after payday when many soldiers were away visiting families, leaving the post vulnerable. The scene was surreal. Pathet Lao even brought elephants to transport their combat supplies. Despite being undermanned, our voluntary company put up fierce resistance. I immediately called for vegetable delivery, our code for emergency ammunition airlift. Those supplies arrived just in time as the battle intensified. The relief force we sent turned the tide. Our brave defenders held their ground until reinforcements arrived, sending the Pathet Lao retreating into the jungle. This wasn't just another skirmish. It marked the first major clash in the 4th Military